Welcome to Midlife Unlimited Live. Woo! I'm joined today by my fabulous guest, Justine Warwick, makeup artist and confident coach. I'm your host as well. In case you didn't know, I'm Kate Porter. I almost forgot to say, I'm so excited. The Midlife Metamorphosis coach. We're here to give a taste of our episode audio. Episode 71, available now wherever you get your podcasts. How to awaken your makeup mojo in midlife. Try saying that. And I've not had a drink for 7 years. That's quite impressive. But we're also celebrating International Women's Day as well. Because why not? We are fabulous. So welcome, Justine. It is rather wonderful to have you here.
Thank you. It's lovely to be here, Kate. I'm really excited with this podcast, to have been a guest on your podcast, and also for it to be coinciding with International Women's Day week.
Now,
Yeah.
can I just interrupt very, very briefly? Because Justine is on her phone and your image has just gone slightly blurry. I don't know if you've just touched something or if something has just slipped. We can see you, but you're slightly out of focus
Am
and
I
you were
right?
perfectly in focus just now.
Oh,
Sorry, viewers,
okay.
bear with, but
Oh, is it? Um, yeah, I don't really know what I can do about that.
it might correct itself. StreamYard has a way of messing about. So it was crystal clear just now. I just didn't want viewers to think, what on earth's going on? But no, we will continue. So our full-length episode, packed with insights, top tips. But at the very core of it is the fact that we are both celebrating that the fact that we care about how we feel inside and out is no longer seen as frivolous. And we're not saying you have to wear makeup, but we're talking about midlife. You can feel stuck in a rut. You can feel that the makeup that you've perhaps worn in your 20s, 30s, into your 40s just isn't doing you justice anymore. So it really is a time of reimagining our identity. And when we look in the mirror, starting to recognize again that fabulous woman there.
100%. And I think it's such a big and busy and can be quite hard period to navigate, and we're losing sense of ourselves sometimes. We don't really know who we are, and I think that makeup is a very small part of that. But if we can crack that and feel better about that, it is part of the bigger puzzle, and it's the quickest and easiest boost. I think that sometimes we do get stuck in a rut, like you say. Many of the women that I see definitely feel that way, and they know that they want to make changes, but they really don't know where to start. Because even if you think, right, I'm going to treat myself to a new lipstick, and you go into a shop and there's 45,000 lipsticks, where do you even start? So the easiest thing is to buy what you've always bought.
No.
So
Like
I've been
it applies to so many things in life as well, doesn't it? Because we think, right, we fancy a change, we fancy shaking things up, and we'll come to experimenting a bit. Oh, that sounds a bit exciting later on. But it isn't about putting on a mask, is it? When we hear all this, take off the mask. Midlife Unlimited is all about ripping off the mask. We're not saying cake it on. We're not saying. I mean, I talk about wrinkles, and what I hate is when you feel that cakey effect of if you smile and then stop smiling, makeup is
it's all
it's just
moved.
yeah, it's finding what's right for you. And skincare as well, isn't it? Let's talk about skincare first before we actually delve into what's in your makeup bag and what that says about you and your makeup story. Skincare, you talk beautifully in our episode about celebrating our skin, because it's all about, isn't it, loving the skin we're in.
It is, and it all starts with skincare. Your makeup is always going to look better if you look after your skin. Um, but that's to say that I want to also appeal to women that don't necessarily wear makeup, and to help them to understand how important it is just to use the right skincare for them and to enjoy the process of it. I think so often it's like we need to cleanse out, oh, I can't be bothered to cleanse, I haven't got time. We do it at the end of the day when we're really tired. But I always encourage people to maybe think about doing their skincare routine earlier. So last night I'd been out all day. I got home, got into my pajamas, as you do, put my makeup
Absolutely.
off. and it just felt so nice because then I could I could really enjoy that process of taking my makeup off, and then I could relax in the evening as well, knowing that I only had to clean my teeth before I went to bed. So you get a lot more enjoyment from it if you treat it as a really nice act of self-care using
Mm.
nice products. I think don't have to be expensive, but they have to be things that make you feel good when you're using them, rather than leaving it as another job to do at the end of the day when you're already tired. So that is where everything starts, is your skincare. And I will cover that in my makeup lessons, make sure that everyone that comes to me for a makeup lesson is also looking at their skincare, because that's just as important.
Because as you just said with the lipstick, the idea of skincare and our skin's needs are changing. It's a reality. Yes, we're celebrating getting older. That's we can't, we're getting older. Great. But let's actually take care of our skin in the appropriate, not age appropriate, just the appropriate way, depending on whether
Yes.
our skin's all dry or whatever. But as you say, it can be so easy just to think you go into a chemist, for example,
Mm.
and there's so much, and it's like, do I want this? Do I want that? Is this? You say the temptation can be just to say, oh, sod it, and just reach for what we've used, or
Reach for the
what our
clearer
mothers
still
used to
that
use.
that you've been using since you're a teenager, you know.
Yeah,
That is the thing, as well as your makeup, it's regularly updating your skincare, thinking, how is my skin feeling at the moment? Because a lot of us, as we move into midlife, our skin will start getting drier. So we may need something a little bit richer than what we used to have. And I would advise people to just think about what their skin's like now, and maybe look for a cleanser or a moisturizer for that within their budget. Don't overthink it, and maybe just get the matching cleanser to keep it nice and simple, really, rather than trying to pick and choose from lots of different brands, which is absolutely fine if that's what you want to do. But if you want it quick and simple, you can just go to the brand. I would always say a skincare brand, someone that specialises in skin, rather than maybe a makeup brand that also does a bit of skincare.
that's a good
So
point.
yeah, that's just what I think as well. But if you are using products that feel nice, and that work for your skin, you'll want to use them even more.
And I guess another point about, and when we say the word brand, we don't necessarily mean a big mega bucks brand. We just
No.
mean the range of products. But I
Yes,
guess
so
by
there's some really
finding,
good high street brands out there, you know, and some of the things like Superdrug or Boots, some of their own brand
yeah,
products are good. I'd rather that people could do something consistently, even if it's very simple and a lower price. If they did that twice a day, every day, they'll see much more benefits than buying something that's really expensive that they'll maybe only use once every so often, or that
yeah.
they're worried about using because it was so expensive. So
No, and
it
another
depends
thing,
on your lifestyle, really.
yeah, I was going to say as well, by picking a brand and sticking with it, there's less chance of overlapping. Because I know with so many different ingredients, for want of a better word these days, if we say, oh, we'll get the cleanser from this range and we'll get the moisturizer from this range and the toner from this range, we might actually end up with products that are almost not fighting each other, but almost overlapping and having too much perhaps of one
Yeah,
ingredient.
they could be. I mean, a lot of people do have routines with lots of different
Oh
things
yeah.
in them, and they really love that, and they probably really look into it. But for the sort of women that I deal with on a daily basis, they want quick and easy, and they don't want the overwhelm. So I think starting off as simply as you can is
Use the
is
KISS
the
method,
right
yeah.
thing. What's that?
The KISS method. Keep it simple, stupid, isn't it? Not that we're calling anyone stupid, but in terms of
Love it.
having an array, what are the things that was really stuck from me from our conversation? And I'm gonna revisit it. We're gonna
Okay,
talk about
yeah.
this again. Is what our makeup bags say about us? Because I know I've got things in there that I go scrabbling around like a little rabbit burrowing in a hole, and that
Yes,
probably is and I can never find it's the old. Why is my liquid eyeliner always the last thing right at the bottom? The one thing, and it's
yes.
like, I've got 5 minutes.
And actually, your
Probably
liquid
not the best
eyeliner,
way, is it?
if you are using a liquid eyeliner, your liquid eyeliner is the thing that you should be probably spending most time doing, because it can very easily go wrong. So you want that to be easily accessible. So you almost want to put that somewhere on its own, so that it's always in a particular place. So I would say yes, with makeup, I see all sorts, and that is one of my favourite bits of the lesson is where people come and they're like, they show me their makeup, and it might be that they've got no makeup, or they've got a mascara and a lipstick, or they might have a suitcase. I've seen everything, and I love to see it all. But the trouble is, when you've got too much makeup, like myself, you can you can really waste time every day looking for the right product. So I know we talk about this in more detail on the podcast, more about how to declutter your makeup. But my top tip really is to get your everyday makeup, Kate, including your liquid eyeliner, and just have a very small curated selection of things that you will reach for daily. Have those in a little pot, like basket, box. What am I trying to say? You know, a little
Well, you
tray
can
or
get those little
something.
perspex boxes as well, can't you? So you
Yes,
can
so you
actually,
can
with the
see
little
what's
box.
in it. Rather
Yeah,
than a makeup bag with a zip where you're scrabbling around, you can see it all. It's all in there. You might just have 5 or 6 products, and then every day that is going to save you time. But also, if you are using that every day, you may have another load of makeup that you don't reach for very often, and that is what you need to go through and declutter, because makeup does
yes.
expire.
I've had, although we do talk about how makeup can bring back memories, and we both recall very fondly Miss Selfridge back in the
Yes,
day.
yes.
So,
Like that for me um was really where it all started. Yes, my mum was a massive influence when I grew up, and I used to use all her old makeup. I mean, children or teenagers nowadays all get their own brand new top end makeup. But then I would use her sort of whatever she had got
oh, I
bored
had,
with.
the little stubby bits of lipstick and things like
Do
that.
you remember the little lipsticks you used to get as testers as well?
Yes, yes.
Yes. So,
Oh,
but Miss Selfridge to me was just, that was amazing. All of a sudden, there was a brand that was aimed at our age group. It was affordable. It was in my local shopping centre. They had a makeup artist there on the counter, and I loved everything about that. Trying out new colours, new formulations, and so that will always hold a special place in my heart. And I have recently discovered a makeup artist on Instagram and Facebook who does talk about old sort of vintage makeup from the early days of MAC, and a brand called Hard Candy that I'd forgotten about until I saw
nail
her
varnish.
showing.
Yes.
Yes, and takes you back, and it's fascinating to see how these formulations change over the years as well. So I do think there's a lot of, when you speak to most people, they will have specific makeup memories that will take them right back to a certain date, time, person in their life. Yeah, for me,
Or that
it's a very
lipstick you
special
had
thing.
that's been discontinued, and I remember, was it Rimmel? I never wore it, but I remember Rimmel Heather Shimmer was really,
Heather
really popular.
Shimmer is still there, still going
Is
strong,
it?
and I
That's
see it in
one
so many
name that,
makeup bags. I really
yeah,
do. Yeah,
so
and
many.
I think there was coffee shimmer as well. There were the two. I was more of a Twilight teaser girl, number 17, with the nice
Ooh,
blue undertone. Like it was almost blue, purple, pink. I don't know who that was supposed to suit, but that was what the 80s were about, was experimenting with colour. And
no.
that was my first foray into makeup at that time as well. So really exciting times.
No. I'm loving this. I'm loving this. I could talk to you all day. Right now, you did mention just now about obviously memories of going back to Miss Selfridge and having your makeup done sitting in the chair. And that's something that I've not really done for years and years. I think you've inspired me to go
Mm,
and try it out. But you highly recommend, obviously, working with you. We're going to share your contact details in a bit. And they are on the show notes for our episode and on the Midlife Unlimited podcast website where you've got your
thank
guest
you.
profile. Huh,
Thank you.
right. But in terms of bass, and you use the phrase which I love, I won't sing it, it's all about the bass, isn't it?
It
Particularly
always is.
now.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I mentioned hating that whole cakey feel of wearing a mask, but obviously in terms of working with you and watching your tutorials that you do, but to actually get the color right, you said it's a really good idea to actually get our bums down to a department store or a chemist or whatever and get color matched, isn't it?
Yeah, I think I would say to invest time and money in your foundation. So I would go to a department store, get colour matched, but do that as a job in itself. Don't think I'm going into Chelmsford or London today, I've got 20 things I need to get and I need to get foundation. You need to have the time to spend on it. I would go to a makeup counter. They know their products better than anyone else. So if you can go in there with an idea of how you want your skin to look, you might want it to look
Mm.
really natural, you might want it matte, you might want it glowy. For me, for example, I like something with sort of a medium coverage. So it's not too full coverage, but it's also not super light, because I do still, probably a bit of a hangover from the teenage years with the bad skin, I do feel like my skin needs a little bit extra that some other people wouldn't need. If you've got really good skin, why would you cover it up? So they know their products, they can colour match you. And I would always ask, when you are buying the product, or if you ask for a sample, if they don't have samples for whatever reason, to say, if I get home and I don't feel like it's the right colour, can I bring it back? But there are online shops. Charlotte Tilbury, for example, they do online consultations, and if you order things through their website, they will, you can use it and send it back within a month if you're not happy with it. So there are different, if people can't get to a department store, the brands do try and make it easier.
Yeah.
A lower price would be something like the No. 7 counter, where they
Yeah.
do normally have someone working there. The products aren't super high end and they can colour match you as well. So that's a good starting point if you feel like a department store and those brands are a bit out of your budget at the moment.
And also say, as we sit here today, I've actually had to have my curtains closed because the sun is out. Spring has
It's
sprung.
beautiful.
And yeah, again, we are moving then into a, a potential shift slightly in our foundation or our cover, that, blush, contouring, and it's about being flexible to an extent, isn't it? And as you say,
Yeah.
having, summer face, thinking, oh, maybe a bit more sparkle if we are. I mean, I'm not saying go and lie in the sun and tan, wear
No.
your protective factor 50,
Yeah.
but if we are out in the sun, it's nice to have a little bit of, well, sparkle. We talk about sparkle, don't we?
We do. I think if you apply sparkle in the right way, I don't ever want to be told that I can't wear shimmer. My mum is in her 80s. She wears shimmer every day on her eyes and it looks fantastic. And the person that I am, I love a bit of sparkle. So that is part of who I am. And I'm not going to stop it. But it's about knowing where to apply it. And I do think you're right, Kate. It's a bit like when we start getting out our summer wardrobe, we probably need to be thinking about our summer makeup wardrobe in terms of, your foundation is likely to be, your skin might be a different color to how it is in the winter, so you will need potentially a different color foundation, or a foundation adjuster if you really like your foundation but you don't want to buy the next shade, to get something where you can adjust the color. Or you might want a
Ooh.
lighter weight formula. It's about reassessing all the time to see what's working for you now.
And having a bit of fun, Now, another thing, I know often you hear women, well, no, I'm not a makeup artist, but I love experimenting. I love having a bit of fun. And
Good.
sometimes it can be as simple as switching out your nail varnish, for example. And it's amazing how that can, with an outfit as well, it can
Yes,
add that extra level of zhuzh, that extra level
it
of ooh.
can. And I think sometimes if you want to feel differently, buying a new outfit isn't always accessible for people. But actually, if you wear a different colour lipstick, or you try a different blush or something, some of these things can be quite inexpensive, but very quick and easy to implement as well, to make you look different. If you think, like, you've worn the same outfit a few times, if you were to wear a red lip and you don't normally wear a red lip, that is going to be it's going to make the outfit look completely different. So yeah, I love to be able to experiment with makeup, and I really love showing women how different colours can work on their skin, perhaps better than
Mm.
what they're used to.
No, I mean, I've started wearing a kind of slightly more coppery. I thought, it's sun's coming out and incorporate a bit of kind of a coppery eyeshadow. But
Nice.
we do talk about experimenting, but doing it when we've got time. And I won't ruin my little story now, but tune into our audio episode for a story about me, blusher, and going to Buckingham Palace. Let that be a lesson to anyone who actually listens.
I remember that for when I go to Buckingham Palace.
Name dropping, name dropping.
Mm.
But and also we talk about, playing to your best feature as well, whether you think that's your eyes or everyone's got something that we're not talking about plastering on the slap, for want of a better
No,
word, but we're talking about making the best. And
yes.
particularly if we're on camera as well. I mean, how many hours do we spend a month on Zoom meetings and that kind of thing? Don't we nowadays?
And I think when you are on Zoom or something like that, it's if you're with a lot of people, it's very easy to fade into the background. So if you do want to be noticed, then you need to define your features a little bit more. So it would be with maybe a bolder lip than you would normally wear, or make sure your brows and your blush sort of that you kind of don't look washed out and
You're
fade
basically
into the
on TV,
background. And
aren't you? You
yes,
don't have you don't have the cast of This Morning or Breakfast News
no.
not having a bit of colour or whatever it is. Oh,
No, but it is,
I'm
it's
with
like when
you.
you're in the Zoom rooms and there's lots of people there, lots of different faces. It's thinking about the people that stand out to you. Why do they stand out to you? It could, of course, be the energy that they have, because some people are like that, aren't they? But it could be that they're wearing a brighter colour top or they're wearing a bold lip, and then you're more likely to remember them. So if you want people to remember you, you need to think in that way as well.
And one last tip as well that really stood out for me. I mean, I talk about the memory of my mum sitting at her dressing table, but you actually point out, and it makes sense. And I actually said, I do this natural light, making the most of
Yes.
natural light when we are putting on the
Yeah.
face.
So I'm sat now in front of a window, because that is the best lighting for me. I've got no other lighting. But if I turn round this way, it's not as flattering. You can see the sun behind
Yeah,
me. So if you're getting made up like this, you can't really see as well as if the sun is on your face. So, and I think that a lot of the time we have our dressing tables set up in a certain place that is probably poor lighting, but that's the way it fits into the room. So it's really easy just to take a little mirror into the bathroom window and have your everyday little makeup tray there.
yeah,
Doesn't need
great
much
idea. Just
room.
on the
Yeah,
windowsill.
yeah, that's the best
See,
thing to do.
and we've just literally, I mean, we've shared so much, but we've tip of the iceberg, really. Go and listen to the full length episode. Again, available wherever you listen to your podcast. I say all your contact details are on there. But for the sake of viewers who'd rather watch us than go and listen, can you share how they can get in touch with you and anything you've got coming up as well? Now, you mentioned,
Yep.
I think there's a link to one of your demonstration videos
Yes.
as well that we've put on the
Yes.
show notes, isn't there?
Yes, so you can find me through my website, which is justinewarwick.co.uk. I'm also on Instagram at Justine Warwick Makeup Artist. I'm on TikTok, Facebook, LinkedIn. But I do share tutorials. I like quick and easy things to show you, or if there are products that I find that I really like, then I'll share those. But I have a 5-minute makeup tutorial that is free. You can either find that on my website, or I think maybe we've got a link in the show notes, where you
Yes, it's
can
on.
download this free 5-minute makeup tutorial, and I will take you through some really quick and easy steps of updating your makeup using the products you've already got, but show you that it doesn't need to take an hour to do your makeup. Basically, you can do it really quickly.
I love that. I love that. But if you want to indulge and take some time as well, we talk about having the fun of actually having a little play around and the experimenting, maybe with a glass of wine or a glass of non-alcoholic, something like that. Just taking a
Yes.
bit of me time, taking a bit of me time.
Making it nice. If they wanted to watch the 5-minute makeup tutorial, for example, you can follow along with your own makeup. And I quite like to do that. I love watching all makeup tutorials, and it sometimes feels like you're getting ready with someone else, which I know we talk about on the podcast as well. But
Absolutely.
I just really enjoy it in the same way that some people love choosing an outfit for when they're going out. I like doing my makeup for a night out, and the clothing is second thought. It's like an afterthought. Oh yeah, I better
Well,
think
no,
about
as
what
we
I'm going to
say,
wear.
once you've walked into the room initially, the majority of the time, the people you're talking to at an event, whether it's a networking event, whether it's a social event, a party, are really looking at you from the shoulders up. So what we
Yeah,
do with this area here does have an impact. It does have
It
an
does.
impact.
But I
So
also
go and
want
check
not.
out.
I don't want people to feel like I'm trying to tell them they should wear makeup. It's just that
No,
if they want to wear makeup, to use makeup that makes them look the best they can possibly look, and if they don't want to wear makeup, to invest in skincare that they're going to really enjoy and make the most of their skin.
no, I'm absolutely. I'm so glad you said that, because in no way is our episode saying you should. I mean, we don't do shoulds anywhere here on Midlife
No.
Unlimited. We're in no way saying you must go and do this. No, you do what works for you. You do what feels right for you. But just take our episode as a little kind of food for thought, a little pause, and think, when I look in the mirror, is there anything that I could do that would make me feel me, not for anyone else? You ain't
Yes.
doing it for anyone else. I don't wear this red lipstick for anyone else but me. It's for
Yes.
me. And if you don't like it, bye.
Yeah.
But if
So
you do
true.
like it and you want to connect with me, all my details are in the show notes as well, and on the Midlife Unlimited podcast website, where you can find details of my one-to-one midlife metamorphosis coaching and more, my all-in-one group coaching, which also has a little bit of one-to-one as well. So, Justine, this has
Lovely.
been delightful. Oh, your camera's coming. How do you? I'm
Has
not
it
quite
been
sure what.
fuzzy the whole time?
Well, viewers, it was perfect before we went live, so I don't know what's gone on, and I can only apologise, Justine, but we've heard you perfectly. We've seen you more or less. She's absolutely gorgeous. Go and check out the graphics to see exactly what will go. Even more reason to book a one-to-one to actually meet you or come and
Yes.
have a little Zoom with
Yes.
you.
One-to-one makeup lesson with me. Be
Absolutely.
lovely.
I might be there. So here's to enjoying the sunshine, putting on a little bit of bronzer maybe if you fancy it. If you don't, remember your factor 50. Ladies
Yes.
and gents.
Always.
So thank you so much, Justine, for joining me.
Thank
Here's
you.
to a wonderful International Women's Day, everyone. Celebrating being fabulous and flourishing together and
Yes.
living midlife unlimited. Thanks, Justine. It's been
Thank
a
you.
pleasure.
Bye, Kate.
Bye.